Okay, so you all can see my screen, correct? No?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So first, let's understand what is SAP BTP and IAG, like what we do in this course. So this course is like 1.5 month approximately, and then we'll be covering especially like SAP BTP and IAG security. So these two important topics we are covering. Along with this, additionally, like some IAS systems and IPS systems is there, that also we are seeing that how we can make authentication for the user. So those also we are covering in this. But most important thing is like BTP and IAG security, and IAS also some extent also is important in terms of security. Okay, so those things we are covering in this, and initially like we start, and this is like a everyday 1 hour session, Monday to Friday, and and we are really going to use especially. Okay, so so then okay, hi there. So in this, like we are covering initially like basic introduction. We start with the basic introduction, where like what is cloud IAG, what really the features of there in the IAG, what are the different modules are there in IAG, and and then really like what is the comparison between SAP IAG and GRC. So this we are also making a comparison. What is the advantage there in IAG? What is the advantage of GRC is there? So those comparison also we are doing, and the architecture of SAP IAG. So those things and how we can provide the access to the user in IAG, that also we will be done. Hi, Pawan. Good morning. So in that, once we cover the basic introduction of the IAG, and how we can provide the security, like what are the people are there who will be getting access in IAG, especially like the role owner, the manager, the risk owner, okay, the campaign manager, for example, coordinator. So those are like some examples of the like people that really going to use IAG for the day-to-day purpose. So these people we are going to create into the system, and then they are going to get the access in the IAG. So most of the time, these are the people who are using IAG full flash. And in that, after the introduction, like we go with the BTP. So see, the BTP is a kind of platform. IAG is nothing but a governance tool, same as like the GRC. So in that we have this sub module of there in IAG, where we are covering like access risk analysis module is there. So here the module we call as a service in the terms of like a cloud, and like the BTP. And then the like access analysis service is there, then access request service is there, and then you have the privilege access management that we call as emergency access in GRC term. So that we have, in business role management services are there. So all this, and access certification. So these five services we call, or you can consider as a module in IAG, that we are going to learn here, like how we can configure all the five modules, and we are connecting like a system here. For example, like S4HANA system, we are connecting with IAG, and we are configuring all these five modules that is going to work on S4 system as a target system, for example. So that is just an idea like how we can use it. So initially, we are going to have an introduction in each of the five modules and the features. What is the like capabilities of there on these five modules? So this we are going to capture here in the system. Okay. So that is the idea here that we are going to cover. And after that, once we have the basic introduction, then we are going with the BTP. So like a BTP is a kind of platform which will be used by SAP, or used by SAP to provide the specific application to anybody. Okay, so this platform you can consider similar to your Tata Sky. So like if you want to use or want to view the channels, right, and then you can go to like Tata Sky, that yes, I want to buy your um, services, and then I want to use your services. So what they will do? What they will do? They will. Hi Mohit, good morning. So Mohit, like we just right now try to touch base about like a introduction of that, like what are the topics we are covering here, and for that, like initially we will be covering the introduction, and then the BTP account or BTP platform, what really the BTP is there, and it is really important to understand the BTP concept and the BTP security because it is a purpose of providing access to the user in IAG, which comes through the BTP. Okay, so first understand what is BTP actually. So BTP cloud platform is similar to like a Tata Sky kind of services. So if you want to view some channels, so what you can do, you can go to Tata Sky. That way, I want to buy a new subscription or new account from you. So they will give you one new account, and they will give you like a Tata Sky box, and then it will ask you that what are the specific channel you want to subscribe. Then you can subscribe to those channels, right, to view, and based on your subscription they will charge. Suppose if you want to buy the movie channel or sport channels, so they will charge for these two channels which you buy from or subscribe from them, right? So but it doesn't mean that if you buy two channels only, like only these two channels will be offered by your Tata Sky. So it will be like more channels will be given by the Tata Sky offering, but it's your choice what you want to have it. Okay. So that is uh, hi Monica. So that is the purpose of like a BTP as a platform. So similar to Tata Sky, maybe I will just take you to the Excel to make you understand much better way. All this thing is like a cloud technology. Like IAG is also a cloud technology. Okay, it is running on the cloud, and then SAP BTP also running on the cloud. So these all are running on the cloud thing, and then you know about the cloud, right? So the cloud thing is nothing but it's something like which you don't have to buy, you don't have to install. It's the same like a rented thing. So like on premise is like your own house. So where you have to like all the cleaning you have to do, all the maintenance you only have to do, like no other person will be doing for you. But if you go with the cloud solution, which is nothing but a rented thing, similar to rented thing, like if you go to the hotel and then if you take a service to stay there, so then it will be like you only have to pay the rent, but you don't have to bother to pay the taxes, you don't have to bother to pay maintenance, right? All this or cleaning, everything will be taken care by the hotel, right? So that is the core difference between the cloud and on-premise. And and then like the BTP now come to the BTP. So BTP also a cloud solution. So like BTP is a platform designed by SAP, and in this they are offering different type of applications. For example, IAG is one type of application is there. CIS is one offering is there. So just examples, I'm just saying some business studio is there, SAP Business Studio, right? So similarly, like audit management service, audit services, some audit log services or coding related things are there, right? So for these many examples, these many services is offered by SAP on this platform. So this is kind of platform similar to like a Tata Sky. You can say Tata Sky if you want to uh, say go there. So Tata Sky also have the different services. Hi, Vasuraj. So like in Tata Sky, if you see the Tata Sky will be also having like a movie channel and then news channel maybe, right, or a sports channel. So that is a similar approach you can say. So if any or maybe like your share market, right? Share related channels there. Take example, these many channels is being offered by the Tata Sky. So if you want to go to Tata Sky to buy anything, so what they will do, they will create an account. Suppose ABC person went there, so they will create one account on the name of ABC, and once they will have that okay, I want to subscribe for a movie channel or I want to buy for a sports channel. So Tata Sky will give these two channels only to their account, and they will charge only for these two channels. Though the offering is all the one, what based on the user subscription in the user account, they will charge for the user for that account. In similar case, the BTP platform is there, which is offered by SAP. So SAP say that, okay, in my platform, I am offering these many services. You tell me what you want. So if clients say, okay, I want to go with IAG service, right? I want to go for business studio or CIS. Okay, maybe also take example. So what SAP will do for that client or for this user? So they will create also one account for the user, like similar to ABC. If ABC person went there or client went there, so they will create one account that we call as a global account. Okay, for that user, for that organization, and they will give services for the client to utilize it. And based on this three services, SAP is going to charge that. So SAP is not going to charge for coding, for example. Okay, so that is the baseline idea for the BTP account and how the BTP account works. So in that, any question by anyone? Since it is like a cloud platform, so client really don't have to install anything on their machines. They will be using the browser, and then user account will be given to them, the user ID password, and they can use the services as normal services, how we are using like Gmail services or any other services. So that is the idea. So in that, any question by anyone? Monica, anything? Mohit, Virendra, Uday,
Yeah,
Vasaraj,
good.
all okay?
Yeah, Vikas, we are good.
Okay. So if nobody have any questions, so let's move on. So like in similar case, like if you say that client purchase or Infosys, suppose the client is there, so Infosys go to SAP, they will buy the services which they want. Then SAP create one global account for Infosys, and then they will give one user ID password as a global administrator to the basis team or someone, and then they can see that okay, how many services they subscribe, they order, that will be added to their account and they can use those services. Okay. So suppose the client will be using these services. Take example like these three services client subscribe. So out of this offering, as these three services will be added to the user, and then they can utilize these services to get the use of this. So suppose the IAG is one service is given to the or used by the client or subscribed by the client. So what they will do in IAG also, you have to provide the access to the user. So what we do to provide the access to the user? So in the BTP only, like we have the security. So like we have to create a user. For example, if Mohit want to have access in this system to perform like a IAG administrator, for example. So what the global administrator, suppose I will be created as a global administrator in this system, right? So I will have the full rights here in this system to manage the landscape and everything. Like if you want to make an instance for this, or we want to integrate this IAG with any other system. So I work as a global administrator, and I have the capability to create any other administrator or any other user for any other applications. I have the rights to do that. Okay. So here, what we do, if we suppose Mohit join in our organization and he is working as a IAG architect or administrator, so I will create his ID in the BTP account, and if I assign IAG role to him, so IAG maybe admin role, for example, or maybe the IAG uh, role owner, for example, or risk owner. Just an example, okay? So that way we can give the access to the user for those applications. So that is the idea. Okay, so these are the type of roles is there. For example, if these two roles in BTP account, I will assign to the Mohit after creating a Mohit ID, then he is able to access IAG application. That is the idea. Okay. So if I create his ID for IAG, he is able to access only IAG. If I assign create his ID for business studio and assign the role, then only the Mohit is able to access the Business Studio application and get the access of the Business Studio developer, for example. So is that okay? Have you till here? So the idea in IAG, we don't have any option to create a user. To create a user, we have the option to create a user in BTP account only or BTP. All right.
Yeah, Vikas, yeah, Abdul is here. Like, one question here, like when you're creating the users, like the same concept like we are doing on on-prem, like assigning role assignment, coming to the role assignment, or it's already predefined their authorizations. All.
Yeah, it is already predefined. So the
Okay.
scope for modification is very less. Okay. So
Mhm.
SAP already given the role, so we have to use those roles. So
Okay.
the idea here is for BTP or the cloud is like it's kind of ready-made solution. So they say that you just use it whatever we have given. If you want to go for a lot of customization, then go with GRC.
Perfect. So,
So
okay.
ready to eat kind of solution. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
So if any client want to have a GRC kind of stuff, because IAG is also a governance tool, but in GRC, if you go, it is an on-premise solution. So client has purchased purchase a server. They have to purchase like a operating system. They have to purchase the middleware. They have to make a partition, and then they have to install the middleware software. Buy the license. They have to buy the license for GRC and install the GRC on it, and they only have to hire a basis people to manage the server and see that memory is not getting filled or performance is okay. So everything they have to take care by their own. Whereas in the IAG, they doesn't have to do anything for their own except like a configuration. So all the basis related activity, the software and hardware related activity is taken care by the SAP. Okay, if
Okay.
any patch installation is there, so SAP will do for that. We don't have to bother about this. So if any space is getting filled, SAP, if SAP is the cloud provider, so SAP has to take care of adding some new memory space into the server. Okay.
Yeah. That is like related to infrastructure you're talking about, infra, right? Like hardware.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
coming to this one role, like
yeah. So the
the
role, you are right only. So
operations. Yes.
yes, that's correct. So suppose if you subscribe the service IAG, the SAP already give you the predefined role only. That
Okay.
role only you can use. So if you want to make a person as a role owner or risk owner, so if you assign a like a IA role owner role, so then he will become a role owner.
Perfect. Clear.
Okay.
Now it is clear. Yeah, yeah, clear. So the SAP is like providing BTP on BTP list of activity,
Roles.
like role user yes, roles. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
clear.
So
Right.
as soon as
Cool.
subscribe, the role will
That's all.
coming. So suppose if you subscribe business studio, so business studio role will be coming. So it will be along with your subscription.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
clear. Thanks. Thanks, Vikas. Yeah.
Okay.
Cash, so there is no IAG security or anything, right? Everything is BTP security, and uh, you maintain the connected systems, IAG or CISBS, through BTP's security. Am I correct?
Yeah, so see the IAG security is not IAG security in the sense like if you want to make a person assign a role, so IAG security will be governed from the BTP side. Okay, and then using IAG, suppose take example like now this part is okay. So using IAG, what you can do? So take example, I will take IAG here for the moment. So like you have the IAG, then you make a integration with IAG with S4, for example. Okay, it will not take this line, I think. So if you take like if you connect the S4 system, okay, or maybe the ECC system, or maybe the cloud system, right? Maybe like success factor, for example, or maybe like Ariba system. So then once you are an administrator, then you have to, and in this year, like you have the five modules of IAG. So if you want to take a risk analysis, so how you will configure the risk analysis in IAG? For that, you should be the administrator, right? So what you do, you go into IAG and then create a risk for S4, for example. right?
Okay.
So means if you are running a risk analysis on S4 as a connector, you are able to find the risk on S4. Similarly, if any new user want to get a access in S4 or success factor, so using IAG, you will be raising a request.
So IAG is more like our ARA, sorry, ARM, right?
Yeah. So in this,
ARA,
like we have all this module, ARA module is there, ARM module is there. Emergency access we call as a PAM actually. The name is little changed,
Okay, yes,
privilege access
privilege access
management.
management.
And then BRM is there, and access certification is there. Okay. So
Access certification, as in, is it some kind of a review or access
yeah,
review?
review.
Okay.
User access review you have in GRC, right?
Yes.
Same concept.
So, for GRC, we in general have the access provisioning inside the GRC system, but here, whatever the access that has to be provided to IAG's users will come from BTP.
Correct.
Okay.
So for IAG, the access will be coming from BTP. For the
For the
person
connected
like
systems
for the
management, we can do this.
for the end user, the access will be provisioned from IAG.
Oh, okay. So we as an administrators or security administrators of IAG can provide access to end users of S4 through IAG security.
Using IAG. Correct.
Okay.
So means
Thank you.
the user will raise a request in ARM in IAG ARM, and then he will select okay in which system and which role he need. Then ARM will send the request. IAG ARM will send the request to the manager. Suppose if manager approve, then his ID will be get created in S4, for example.
So more like our technical and functional consultants will have our accesses from BTP, but end users
Yeah,
will have it from normal IAG.
correct. So not only like administrator, but also the role owner. So who the person who is working as a role owner. So he
Oh,
also need a access in IAG because he will receive the request in inbox in IAG. So they have to go
huh.
inside and approve that. So to provide access for IAG, we have to go to the BTP.
Okay. Whoever are working on IAG will need access from BTP,
BTP,
and end
absolutely.
users will get the access from IAG.
IAG, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because the IAGs looks like GRC in the on-prem, right?
Yes. It is a IAG and GRC both is governance tool. Only difference is IAG is on premise and sorry, GRC is on premise and IAG is on cloud. That's it.
Okay.
But all the core concept, what we do here, or what we are knowing for GRC, that is same. Actually, concept is exactly same. The way of doing is little different, but the core concept is same.
Okay.
Yeah, because like users needs to create in BTP plus see for example like let me give a scenario like for creating getting access to the IAG, so
Hmm.
user needs to be access needs to have the access in needs to create in BTP plus IAG in both or only one BTP is good
Yeah.
enough.
So see, the scenario is like if you say that you want to give the all the user in IA for only for ARM and within ARM, like he have the ability to only the raise area access request, right? Not any other things they can do. Similar to like GRC. In GRC, suppose if you want to create all the end user so that they can raise the access request or like if you have end user form, right? So that we can configure there in GRC, right? In similar case, in case if you say all the user can have the access in IAG, and they will have only the rights to raise the access request for themselves, right? So this part you can give the access. Okay. In that
So
scenario, then you have to create all the users in the BTP and then assign like a ARM role, for example. All the user will be gets created and ARM related access you can give and then they will able to raise the request by themselves
Okay,
or any
now
selected system.
yeah, clear. So depending upon the we need to create first need to create the user in BTP, then assign the role what they are to do the activity. For example, ARM or
Yeah.
BRM, depending
So
upon
to
that.
raising a request, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, clear. Thanks. Because
Because I didn't get you that one. For example, in S4 HANA, the one user need to create it like for MM module. So what is the procedure for that? Is it need to create the user in BTP and as well as IAG?
No, no, no. So IAG, we are not creating any user first of all, right? So suppose
Okay.
like take example like Ravi, just example, okay? Ravi joined in an organization, right? So and he want to raise, we say that okay, everybody has to raise the request by themselves. Suppose and Ravi want to have access in Ariba, for example, right? Because he joined in an organization and he need the access in Ariba, any customer or any vendor or something, whatever you can think of. So what we do, and we say that okay, he has to be raising a request using IAG by himself for Ariba. So what we do, we create his ID. If you say that he has to do by himself, so we create his ID in the BTP and assign the ARM related role. Okay, so once we assign this, then what Ravi can do, Ravi is able to access IAG, and within IAG he can see ARM related link where he will fill his detail like first name, last name, email ID, and the system he will select Ariba, and Ariba he will select a specific like a group, for example, access. And then as soon he submit the ARM configuration, by ARM configuration, it send the request to his manager and the approvers. And once they approve, IAG will create his ID in Ariba, and then he will get the access of Ariba.
Okay.
Right?
If need a firefighter like emergency access management, we need to provide that EM in the IAG to that
Correct.
Ravi.
Correct.
Then
In case if you
he
need it.
is supposed
Yeah.
to submit that EM emergency access management file.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. That's correct.
Okay. Thanks, Sita.
Okay. All okay, everyone? Anyone, any question? All okay, right?
No, no, Vikas, we are good to go.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me, tell me.
Yeah, we are good, Vikas.
Okay, okay. So like this is the base idea, okay, how it works actually. So this we are learning here, like the BTP, and then overview of BTP security, then some concept of there like a directory and sub account concept. I don't want to confuse so much of everyone. So, but but in between we have something like a sub account concept. So sub account concept like to define your landscape, especially like development, quality, production. Likewise, we have the the accounts, right? So this will be governed in that model. So no, I don't want to really put so much of like things here, but just the idea here. So like for example, you take an IAG here, right? IAG subscription. So if you take like a two subscription, right? That we call it a two subscription in the sense two quota. Okay. So two quota in the sense like what will happen? So suppose you want to have like a IAG two quota is you purchase from SAP, right? Means you want to use the IAG application in two instance, like instance in the sense like a development system, and then the test system you want to create one instance, and ERD you want to create a one instance. Like all the configuration initially you want to define here in the development system, and then you want to create into the move into the production system, right? So that's where you want to buy two instance, two license for IAG. So then you can create sub account that we call as sub account, and then you move that one application, one copy of the application here, and then you can utilize one copy of application for production system. So it is a logical separation for you to define a system as a development and production system, right? So that is some concept of the sub account is there. So hope it will be okay, right? Understand everyone? Like if you buy the SAP S4 also, so you'll be creating three system normally, like in development, quality, production, correct? No? So similarly in BTP, using BTP, how we can separate like one system is a IAG development system and one system will be IAG production system. To make this happen, we have one concept of sub account. So that is the idea. Okay. So if you create a user for this in this system, then the user will be only in the development system. If you create a user in production, then he will be only in the production system, right? So in development system, normally all the administrator will be gets created. So they will do the configuration. They can test whether the configuration is working. If they are happy, then they will replicate that like a configuration here in the production system, where the original production system will be linked with your original IAG system, right? So that's what leave about this for the moment. If you understand this good actually. If no, then anyhow we'll cover once we come to that class also. So that we'll cover. But anyhow, basic understanding is okay, or anyone any question? That's also okay. All right. So if this is okay, maybe I will take you to IAG also, BTP also, first BTP, and then we take you to IAG as well. So this is our like a BTP account. So like in this account, like you can see, like a security is there. So your global administrator will be gets created here. So like these are some global administrators are there. So that we can create here. Okay. So that we can utilize, and then here you can see like the role collection is there, and then here we have one concept of the sub account. So before that, let's see that in the global account, if you go to the entitlement, no, here you can see you are entitled for how many services. So some of the services comes free whenever you buy it, but some of the services are like is purchased one. So if you see here, let it load. So like these services are there. So here you can see audit log, retrieval service, application logging services, audit log management, authorization and trust management services. So these services comes free, like cloud entry services, for example, cloud integration automation. And here you also have the IAG, for example. And yeah, you can see this one, SAP Cloud Anti Access Governance. So this will be purchased. That's what it is being given to us in the global account. So that is the idea here, right? And here you can see some quota is there. So the quota, you can say one entity, one quota is being purchased. Okay, the global quota is one. So that's what we can utilize that, and we utilize one of one quota. Okay. So till here is fine. Any question by anyone? And then like here you can see we created one instance of IAG, which is nothing but our development system. So this we can consider as a development system of IAG. And inside this, we have subscribed our application as IAG here. So here you can say the subscription is there, right? So you can say subscription wise, here we have the two things we subscribe, SAP IAG and CIS, Cloud Identity Services. So if any user, suppose you want to give the access to the user in the development system of IAG, so how we can give? We can go to the security, And if we create a user here, the new user, for example, anything, uh, like just a test, for example. So we can create the user. Just an example, I'm just creating. I will delete later point. So this ID will be gets created here. And if you suppose this user you want to make a risk owner or role owner or something, then you can open here and then here you have the role. So you can click on this role collection and then assign the role. And then you can see these many roles are available by IAG. So like access analysis services, you want to give anybody to make access analysis thing, access certification reviewer, access requester. So this is for like for all the end user. If you want to raise that, they can raise the access request for self, then you can assign this role to them. Okay. Like this is for our administrator, like IAG administrator, who want to configure all the 5 module of IAG, right? Job scheduler, if you want to make anybody who can schedule the job, like a provisioning job and an access certification job and other jobs. So many jobs are there. We'll see that later. But these many options are available, right? If you want to make any person as a role administrator. Okay. So these are CIAG, whatever the roles you can see, these are related to the IAG related roles. All right. So if you assign, then he will get the access of that this role. So you can raise the access request for self. Okay. So anyone, any question in it?
Because basically this global user account, sorry, the account user, he will create the users and he will assign. So that is the main administrator, right? You can say like
Correct, correct. He is the main administrator who have the rightful rights in this BTP global account.
So depending upon the, let's see, every company, every landscape is different. So they will apply more global accounts or only one.
Only one will be created by SAP, and then he can create any number of administrator. So normally, see the BTP cockpit is only for the security and the base system.
Okay.
No other person comes here.
He
Though
can
we are,
assign sub global users. Can we say like this?
yeah. So see, the SAP will create only one global administrator,
Okay.
and then he can create any number of administrator inside that.
Perfect. Yeah. Great. Yeah. Thank you.
So like and in the BTP cockpit, what you can see here, in BTP cockpit, only security and basis team will be created. No other person will get created here to admin all this activity.
Yes.
That is not for end users or any other users other than basis and security.
And moreover, here what I'm seeing is like in model wise.
Yeah, though
Yeah.
we are creating a users here and providing a access for other application, but not for the BTP application.
Yeah. Correct. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Clear. Yes. Yeah. Thanks. Because
Okay, good. Anyone else now? So this is okay. Like what you explained in the Excel and that then you got it here is okay. Yeah, Siddharth.
Because yeah, because with for this
Okay.
role assignment, we are going to proceed with the standard roles, or we can create like customization based upon the customer requirement. Here,
No, we cannot create a custom role, but what we can do, like custom role in the sense, here you see in a word like a role collection, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so the role collection is nothing but a concept of composite role, similar to composite role you can consider. For example,
okay,
this role you can see, right?
yeah,
CIAG access analysis role. So this have the 4 single role kind of thing you can consider. So here
mhm,
this 4 single role is there. For example, IG access analysis, administrator, report, and super user, right? Super user
okay,
for running a report. So these 4 roles is given by SAP. So you can create a role collection like a composite role kind of thing that you can
mhm,
do in the system. But the idea here you cannot create the single role by your own.
okay.
You
Only
want to
direct assignment for the
yeah.
users.
So,
can
so
do.
means what you can do, suppose you take one role or reporting role, you want to create one role collection as a reporting role. So you can take IAG reporting analysis report, and then maybe in that access certification, for example, you want to take any reports, okay, reporting access. So those you can take it from the reporting access and then create one extra role for you. So like these many roles are there. So you can pick and choose two or three combination, and then you can create a role collection for that. Okay. For example, if you want to create your Z role, Z report, for example, Z IAG report, right?
Yeah.
So the role collection will get scripted. So Z will be visible to you at the end. The IAG report, but right now it doesn't have any single role kind of stuff, right? So to add
Yeah.
that, you can go inside and click on edit. And then if you go to the single role here, so you can see all the list of single roles are there. So you can select IAG related report, for example, IAG analysis report, for example. Then maybe access request report, for example, right? So all the reporting access, if you want to give anybody the access, right?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
select all the reporting roles and assign to that user, right? Just an example, like these three report, if suppose you want to give to the user, and then if you assign this role, he will get only the reporting access for access risk analysis, access request, and PAM related request, right? He will see that reports for these three areas, right?
Yeah.
But if you want
Understood.
to modify this, that is not there.
No.
All
So
right?
because it means we don't have any role creation in this concept. You have to use
Yeah,
only the
no,
BTP roles which
no,
is provided.
yeah, no single role modification that way you can consider. Only
Just
composite
we
role.
need to use the roles which is provided by the BTP. Just we need
Correct,
to.
correct, which is provided by the SAP, yes.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Because how about the concept of master and derived role concept in this?
No, not there here.
That's what I'm wondering. I didn't see here any. Yeah, not
Yeah,
here, right?
not here. It is not there here.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because the conclusion is we can create the composite role, but not create the single role
Yeah,
here.
yeah. And that composite role, whatever you create, that is given the single role by SAP.
Yes, sir. We will use that single role, but given by the recipe.
Yes, yes, that's correct. And the idea for master derived role is not there because see the application here, whatever the access we are giving. So that is the application not related to the business really. So the business system, like business system is like S4, and then your like success sector, all this connected system, the connectors is a business system, right? So the BTP, and within BTP, the offerings what you have, these offerings is especially for the like administrator, and then integration, providing access for the IAG, for example. So those are the core idea here. So that's what I think of. Like that's what we don't have any master data role here.
Well, I hope that BTP and AIG is concerned at the administrator stage only, but not for the business level. The business
Correct,
level
correct.
is
So
concerned at the
no business will
SAP.
be running using IAG, for example.
Yes, yes, yes. If we need to create the business user, that is concerned at that SAP S4HANA, like only user, that means plugin systems like ECC or S4HANA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We just provided access to that end users, like creating that GRC request, risk analysis like that. So if we are
Correct.
providing that role to that end user, they will perform that their activity, like for getting the system access or else run the risk analysis like that.
Yes, that's correct.
So
That's correct.
SAP has concentrated on admin levels only for
Yes, yes.
BTP.
That's correct.
Yeah, Suresh, like what is here is like whatever the SAP is providing, the standard things, we need to use only those things. Okay, that's it. Like, we cannot go, like, maybe there are customizing in future, maybe now it exist. That's what my understanding. Yeah, because is that correct? Like, whatever they are providing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I hope so. There is no requirement to create the customers because admin level, most probably SAP is providing all those things. We can use the predefined things. I hope that. But
Yeah,
business
yeah.
perspective, we need to customize. Like if it is a sales order, if it is a whatever it may be, the streams level, it is required for the customers level as per the business requirement. But for administrators, there is not required for the customers. We
Yeah,
just
yeah,
use for
that's correct.
what they are giving that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I will give you one scenario here. Like, can you answer? Like, what about the global rule set? Like, that is a global rule set, is there, right? When another concept is like a custom rule set. In that
correct,
scenario,
correct.
how?
So
In
we'll
that
come to
scenario,
that. We'll quickly come to that. So that is about BTP. So I think more or less you are okay with that, right? What really with the BTP and other stuff, correct? Then we come to the IES thing. So IES is also a little interesting to know about IES, and then within IES, IPS, IAG is there. So like we'll be learning about IES, IPS. So the idea here is like IES and IPS comes into picture like uh, okay, maybe I'll just cut down here. So that will be like something easier for everybody to know it. So leave out that like a sub account and other stuff. So the idea here is like IAG and IES and how it works actually. So how it works really. So take example. Okay, I will just reduce that everything else to make it simple. So in between, like what we have the IES in between. So take example like IAG is there, then we have something like a IES is there, and then um okay, let's do it this way perhaps. So IES is like become a primary source for us. So suppose any end user join in an organization, and then we want to provide him the access for any uh, maybe the S4 or any other system, for example, right? So what will happen initially? We can onboard him that into the system, and then initially it will be maybe I think that's better. I think yes, I will take here, and then AD I will take, and then I will say that IAG, and then I will take S4. That is better, I think. So take example. This is a simple scenario. So what will happen? And that is like a normal happen in the real time scenario. So assume like either AD or success factor is there. So if any new person join in a organization, take example like Mohit join in a organization. So what will happen? His first account is gets created into the Active Directory or success factor, whatever your first primary data source is there for information of the user, right? So what will happen? So his account is created into the a Active Directory first, right? So his account is created Active Directory or Success Factor as a Active Directory like first name, last name, email ID, his manager. These detail will be gets created into the Active Directory, right? Then we have something like a IES. So IES is like a identity authentication system. So so like what will happen if any user is trying to access any application, either IAG or anything, it is cross-checked behind like whether the user exists in IES or not. So, so that is the idea here. So this means the whenever we are going to give the access to any user, like an administrator, like a role owner or someone, is it will cross check whether user exists in IAS system or not. If no, even though if you assign the role and create a user in IAS, IAG, he is not able to access it because authentication got failed. So IAG understand IAS as a authentication system. Okay. So so that's the reason whenever any user gets created into the data source, that user we have to bring in IES, and then we have to create user in for uh, for IAG, and then if he's trying to access anything for IAG, he's cross check whether user exists. If yes, he's able to access the IAG. Okay. So that system is especially used for the purpose of authentication of any application. So is it okay, everyone? The authentication part, what we are trying to tell. Okay or no? All bouncer.
Yes, Vikas.
Okay, so that is the idea. So this system is only for the authentication system. It is not providing any extra anything, but it is only authenticate the user whether it exists or not, or its email ID exists here or not. So that is the authentication pointer. And to bring the user from here, either you can create user manually in IAG, that is one option. So like if you create a user in Active Directory, you can manually create the user here also in the same way. So that is one way. Or another way, like you can use the IPS as a service, identity provisioning service. So which will take the data, take the user from here and create a user in IAS. So for that purpose, we are using identity provisioning service. So that is one purpose of it. Okay. All right. All okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how it's happened. And once and that's what we have to learn, like what is IES, and then how the user will be coming here, and then some other grouping concept and other stuff is there that we are also learning later. But that is the main purpose of IPS and IPS. Okay, so after that, after learning this, like how we can create a group, how we can set up a trust and other stuff, means how the authentication, because to make a authentication between these two systems, you have to make an integration between these two systems. Then only will it happen. Then we have to create a data source here as a Active Directory or success factor, and then we have to make an integration between these two systems also. And we have to configure IPS to bring the user here automatically. So first time once we make an integration between these two IES and Active Directory, for example. So we have to run full sync mode so that all the users will be one shot loaded into IES. But later you can schedule this program in IPS for like a scheduling one, like only data has to come. Okay, so that is the purpose of IPS here. And then like how to configure IAG so that IAG will do the provisioning for a success factor, and how we can configure access risk analysis for that purpose. So next topic then we are covering like an integration part. So like if you want to make an integration between IAG and S4, IAG with success factor, or IAG with Ariba. So those integration is required, right? So once we make an integration, like you make an integration between S4 and IAG, take example. So then we have to make a sync job also. So we want to bring all the user role profile from S4 to IAG, because we want to run the risk analysis. We want to raise the access request. So IAG has to know that, right? Which user have been assigned with which roles and all. Okay, so that is the idea here.
Uh, so because when we are talking about users here, is it the same concept like in GRC?
Yeah, that's right.
So the users who are there in the connected systems will be just in a temporary memory of GRC, like
Correct,
roll
correct,
roll.
correct. Which will populate the information in IAG tables internally. Okay. So once we make an integration, we run the sync jobs. And once the sync job is run, we'll learn like how many other sync jobs are there that we are learning, and how we are connecting like a cloud system with IAG. That is one way is there, like IPS proxy is one way to connect it. And after that, what is the master data is required to set up like a basic master data, which is required to be used in all the 5 modules. For example, like business process, sub process functions, an application, like which system we are connecting. So connector, what you say like in GR systems as a connector. So those we are creating, right? And after that, some running synchronization job and job overview that we are learning. And after that, how to configure access risk analysis. Access analysis services is what we call in IAG term. So that we are learning in that, like how we can set up the master data for access analysis services, how we can upload the rules set given by SAP for cloud system also. So SAP actually given the rule set for cloud system, on-premise system also for IAG. So those we can upload into the IAG also to use it. And also we have the option to customize it also in case if you want to create any Z risk or any G transaction list, that also you can create using IAG as well. So those we are learning, then mitigation also is there. We can do the mitigation, we can do the remediation also, is option is available. So we even can do the remediation also. Okay, and then comparison, so the shortcoming of IAG compared to GRC. And then the role design services. So in this role design services also, how we can design the role and how it goes to the approval. And then something we have, the candidate business role concept is there, which is especially used for like a business role, similar to a business role concept in GRC. So, but it will propose you as a simulation, like you can go with this business role with this combination of the role. So it will just simulate it. And then it's our choice if you want to go for SAP suggestion that we can use it or we can change it also. So we see that. And then access request management. So like in IAG, we are raising a request and then user gets created in this system, connected system. So how to configure the workflow, how to customize the workflow, how to add a customized field in it, how to make different people as the owners, audit trail, some ARM jobs. So those we are learning here. And then the access certification process, like how we can certify the users, like during the period of time, the different users gets created and different access is provided to the user. So that also has to be checked here. So that we are learning in the access certification thing. And then SAP IAG, privileged access management, we are learning like how we can do the periodic, means how we can provide the access to the emergency access. And then the log will be collected, approval process, which workflow we can set up. Okay, those we are learning in this. And then here also, like in the firefighter controller is there in GRC. Same thing, like we call as a reviewer here. So that also we are learning how the report is coming, like a firefighter log report has been generated. That has to go to your reviewer and he has to review and approve that whether the firefighter is being used correctly. So those we are learning. And then the brief scenario, that is overview we are covering here, like in case if you want to go with the GRC and like IAG. So the idea here, if you want to use the GRC as a approval box, but the provisioning you want to use the IAG, so that way you can consider like IAG bridge here. So those options is also available in IAG, that we can see that. And then the IAG reports. So various reports are available in IAG so that we can utilize it. So those we are learning here. Yeah. So now any question by anyone?
What we are expecting from this training, Vikas? Like any
Yeah, the timing
material?
is like 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it will be starting from 4th or 5th actually. August, September. Yeah, most probably like from 5th it is starting, 5th of September. So let me know before that if you want to go with that. Yes, Siddharth, your question. You have a question.
No,
Siddharth?
Vikas.
Okay,
No, Vikas.
your hand was raised. So yeah, Naresh,
Vikas are
anything else?
Vikas are providing any material or video records and system access like that?
Yeah. So I will be okay. Let me tell about this also. So we'll be providing that step-by-step document is there, so that you can use that for your future purpose. And also, like we'll be providing server access for 2 months, so that you can utilize the practice for that server. And 3 month video recording, like in case if you miss anything or if you want to refer again any topic, so that you can utilize it. And these topics are there. For example, here you can see Like this is like an integration thing, and then like how we can set up SML and OpenID connect method to connect IES with IAG. So these concepts are there. So these screenshots will be given so that you can utilize that. So where to go, in which place. So those will be visible to you. How we can configure. So that way you can configure also with all the screenshots. Okay. So this kind of document will be shared to you that you can use it. Similarly, like master data setup, how we can set up the master data, which is used in all the four, 5 modules. So these are some setup for the master data, how we can set up, where to go, and what we have to do to set a function, what you have to do with IAG access type. So likewise, what master data is required for access and listener service, we have to create a function, risk, and test level, mitigation control, risk score policy, rule set. So these are like overview for this. So likewise, we can have those stuff. Right? The process flow for that. Right? How we can create a risk. What is the structure of that rule set and risk? What is the dependency on each of the master data? Right? What is the risk score means? How to create a function, how to create a business function group, how we can create a risk type. Likewise, you have those stuff, right? How to upload and download the rule set, where to go, and how to pick that, how to modify the rule set, how to bulk change. So those things we are learning here, right? How we can do the mitigation, refinement. If you want to remove any role which is available wrongly to the user and which is causing a risk and he's not using, so those roles can also be removed. So those will be learning how we can remove the roles as a refinement process. Okay. So this is how it will be. So and then like anyhow the server access is there, so we'll be getting all the server access which is used by you, and 3-month video recording is there. And after that also, if you have any question like after the class also, so you are free to ask me, and we are going to add you in one group is there. Our group is there where all the students are there, so approximately 600 plus students are there. They are exchanging their thoughts there and their inquiry, job opening and all. They are doing everything there. And after that, completion certificate also we are giving to you, so that you can use your completion certificate and maybe publish on your LinkedIn also. So that will be also giving to you. So and like this is how we can give like completion certificate if anybody is completing any courses from us. And we are offering like so many courses like in security, SAP, GRC, access control, process control, risk management, audit management, HR security, BW security, Ariba security, or SAP BTP IAG, for example, S4 HANA Fiori security, HANA DB security, BW security, and some functional also like finance, HR, SCM, success factor, ABAP. So those stuff also we are covering. Okay, so those things are covering, and if anybody want to visit our office also, so you can visit our office in Pune. That also you can see if you want to visit us in Pune, opposite to Wipro phase 2, we have the office. So if anybody
Vikas,
yeah,
Vikas, I have a query. Is this course structure is good enough to proceed with BTP security certification with SAP?
I don't think any certification is available for BTP security.
No, I have seen some certification for BTP security from SAP yesterday. That's the reason I
Yesterday.
am asking.
Uh,
Yeah. I will ping you in the chat. So what I have seen, I will ping you in the chat.
yeah, you can send me the post ID.
Yeah.
So I will see
I
what
will do
what they mention here.
that. Sure. Is there any support available for certification for BTP security or for GRC access
Support
control?
support means direct learning you are looking for
No,
certification.
so we are already working. So, if in case we need any earlier dumps for reference and for practice, is it available with us?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our office. In between our office, not all building is ours. One office is there. Okay, that is our office. All right. Okay. Any question? Good. Good to see everyone. You, Basavaraj, anything from you? Uday,
No, Vikas, nothing.
Naresh, all okay?
Yes, sir. Because all okay.
Okay, so if no question, then thank you very much. Thank you for joining this class. Hope you understand some extent something. So it's not just a waste of time, right? You got at least the baseline idea how the security and BTP works, right?
Yes. That was a very good session because working with GRC and listening about IAG and BTP is like, what is this kind of a thing? We understand that both are somehow similar, but this
Hmm.
session gave us a good idea. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Monica. Okay, so you ping me. You already have my, I think, my WhatsApp. So you ping me, or if you don't have, I will ping you here my WhatsApp number also. So that is same actually. So in case if you want to reach out to me for this course. So we are taking some projects also. So if you are interested to have any project, or we have the collaboration for corporate training also. So in your organization also, if you have any requirement for this, so you can check with your organization. So we give the corporate training so that you will save some money instead of investing here directly to me. Your company can invest on me.
That's a good idea. But yeah, if that is a chance, I will also let our company know and we'll update you on that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Vikas.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So enjoy your weekend and take care, and ping me if you want to go with this course. 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. Okay.
Sure,
Okay.
Vikas. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks,
Take care.
Vikas.
Thanks. Have
Bye.
a nice weekend.
Thank you, Vikas.
Welcome, Uday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vikas. Yeah.
Yes. Bye, Abdul.
Thank you.
Bye. Monica. Welcome.